Hello and welcome back to my channel. Firstly, I would like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope you all had a lovely time. And secondly, I would just like to apologise for how long this video has taken yet again. I think in the last video I said I'd be back in 2 weeks, and it's definitely been like a month and a half. But I have been really busy with uni work, normal work. So I am sorry, but I am back. And hopefully this video makes up for it. So for anyone that follows me on Instagram, they know that this video is all about dating. Disclaimer, I am not an expert. I do not have the best love life. I do not have the best history of a love life. This is not me in any way giving anyone any dating advice, because I can't, because I suck at it. But I have kind of like put some Q&As out there for everyone who follows me, and we're just going to talk about it because I just think it's a really interesting topic, especially for our generation. So I put some Q&As out, so I am going to read some stuff off this very tiny phone that isn't mine, but I am filming on my phone, so we have to stick with this. Let's get started. So I think we're going to start off by talking about the obvious one, how most of us in this generation date or meet people. And that's dating apps. I had a really interesting conversation with a friend the other night actually about this. So I was talking about this video, and we literally were talking about it for ages, because it's amazing how like it's kind of our only option, or like we deem it as our only option, to use these dating apps that I really don't think they should be called that, because I don't think many people actually use them for dating. Like, let's be honest, Tinder is literally should just be called like Shag Central. People use Tinder for a one-time thing. No one on there is really serious. Like, I don't have it, but I know a lot of people that do. But yeah, so we're going to talk about that because I just think it's a super interesting topic. So let's see what other people said. Yeah, this is a good one. Somebody said that they met their ex on a dating app and they agreed to lie about how they met. I think that's really true. I think anyone that meets on a dating app, the first initial thing they think of is, well, how are we going to tell people how we met? Like, no one's willing to be like, oh, we met on Tinder, or we met on what other ones are there, Bumble or Hinge or whatever. No one's willing to talk about it. But the funny thing is, that's how most people have met. So it's like, wouldn't it just be easy for us all to just be honest and be like, okay, I met on this one. I don't see what's wrong with just saying to ourselves that we do use them and we're comfortable with using them, because we all do. Like, someone said, full of people looking for a shag. Another thing that I can kind of agree with. I do think a lot of people on there, not all of them I guess, but yeah, I do think a lot of people do use it as like a quick fix, a quick grab someone's attention. It's not a lot of effort. You don't have to put a lot of effort in. I agree with this one. Someone said someone perfect could be out there, so apps give you a bit more sense of who's around. I think dating apps are really good, especially these days. Not just dating apps, I think social media, I think it all comes together, like dating apps, social media, like to meet people. Like, let's be honest, I don't really believe that my perfect future husband lives here in Birmingham, in the same city that I've lived in most of my life. Probably not. But do I visit Manchester and London and Leicester and Sheffield and all these types of places often enough to meet someone? No. So by having like these apps and social media, it kind of gives you more of a way of meeting people a bit further away that you probably do have more like interests with and more in common with and want the same things. Like, you know, again, like where I live, like, you know most of the people you went to school with them, went to college with them, like I know them. I'm not interested in dating them. They're not for me or whatever. I'm not a fan. I much prefer a natural connection and an old-fashioned way of meeting. Anyone that's met naturally, I'm so jealous of. Like, I really am. Like, I've got a couple of girls that I went to school and college with. They met their boyfriends really naturally in their workplace, at a party, at college, and they've been in relationships a long time. Like, one of them just got married, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm so jealous, and fair play to you, because I just don't know. I just can't seem to do it. Like, I don't go out for dinner with my friends and like boys come over, or like, you know, that movie kind of like bump into each other. Like, it just doesn't happen. Like, funny story. give it to me, I had been single for like a month at this point. This was obviously a couple years ago now, and I went on like my first night out back in Brum with my friend, and this lad came over to me and was like trying to like talk to me and was like, oh, so like what's your name? And I panicked, and I screamed and was like, ah, and like ran away. My best friend literally had to be like, I'm really sorry, like she's not usually like this, which I'm not a complete freak, but I just didn't know how to talk to boys, which was quite funny, just outing myself to you all. Too much choice for people now. There's a catalogue of boys and girls online. I could not agree more with this. I think by having such a variety of like people in front of you, people have become not even, I wouldn't even say more picky, but they're just like, there's just so much variety, people don't really know what they want. A lot of people, it is looks based. So for instance, you could be the funniest person in the world, have a really caring, down-to-earth personality, and be like the most wife material or husband material ever. But if you do not look like that 10/10 model that they've been after their entire life, I just don't think people are interested, because they know that that type of girl is out there, because they've seen it. It is on social media, it is on these platforms, so it is out there. But like, great, you might be really nice to look at, and when I walk around I think, yeah, you're really fit, but like, what do I talk about when we get home? Nothing, because we don't have anything in common. Okay, let's go for instance, you've met in person, you've met on a dating app, whatever the situation is, and you're going to go on a date. So what we're going to talk about next is, what is your perfect kind of date? Like, what do you look for? So I think it's only fair if I start off by telling mine. I hate dinner dates. Don't get me wrong, I love a dinner date later down the line, like if things have gone well and you really get on. You obviously can spend that kind of quality time staring at each other across the table, eating food, chit-chatting that whole time, drinking, whatever. I think that obviously those types of dates are lovely. But I think for a first type of date, I'm such a like outgoing person. I love like adventurous things. I've been on some great first dates. Like, I've been to theme parks, I've been to Haunt Towers for a first date, which was so much fun. Because I think a type of date, like for me, it was such a like, you have to be yourself. Like, if you're going to be scared, you're going to be scared. Like, if you're an adrenaline junkie, it comes out, like, you're just naturally yourself. And I think you can't hide behind a drink, or you can't hide behind the menu. Like, you just have to be there talking, you're walking around, like, but you've also got things to keep you busy. So like, if things aren't the best, like, you know, you're only chatting for a little bit while you're in the queue, and then you do something, like for instance, on the roller coaster, you have that to talk about. It's like something to constantly keep conversation going to. I've been to Go Ape, that was amazing. Again, a similar situation, you've got something to talk about, something to laugh about, like if someone falls over or does something wrong, or it just keeps conversation flowing. Like mini golf, obviously that's a normal, if you live in Birmingham and you haven't been on a first date to Ghetto Golf, I don't know what you're doing, because literally it's the go-to. I think anyone that lives here, they always go there. Like, if you went into Ghetto Golf, you would probably see like 50 couples that aren't really like, don't really know each other, but it's like such an icebreaker. So I just think a good activity is like a really good first date. My very dear friend wrote, the Harry Potter Studios, duh. That is my ideal top 10 date ever. I've never been, I've never done it. In all honesty, I think if someone said to me, like genuinely, not just like a whim idea, I've booked the tickets, we're going, probably marry them. Someone said a holiday. I know people that have done this. Like, they've spoke and they've just booked a holiday and gone away together. I'm like, I think it's crazy, like fair play to them, like that's trust. Like, I spent a week away with a stranger in a completely different country. Like, it's a good way to get to know someone really, really well. Like, you either hate each other, or you literally had the best time of your life and you're coming back and you're like doing more crazy things together. I think it's going to be one or the other, isn't it? It's not going to be, I still don't know, type of situation. Someone said Winter Wonderland. Again, at Christmas time, that's a cracking first date. Like, that's such a good idea. Like, it's Christmassy, it's festive, it's upbeat, there's loads of other people doing it, there's loads of things for you to do. I'd love that as a first date. Mini golf, told you. Someone said a hot air balloon ride gives you enough time to get to know them. Very romantic and unique. I agree, it's very romantic and unique. What if I'm afraid of heights? And also, that's so expensive. Fair play to you if you're willing to do that. Okay, so you're on this great date that's wherever you're going. We're going to talk about the things people like and are attracted to, and like what grabs their attention would probably make you want to like go on date number 2. Life stories. I love learning about someone's life and their ambitions and goals. Exactly, like a first date's about getting to know each other. Like, of course, you learn more as time goes on, but I think if there's not that initial like drawing of what someone's got to say about themselves. A first date is selling yourself. You're literally going, it's like a job interview, isn't it? You're telling them who you are as a person, what you like to do, and hoping that the energy matches. So yeah, I completely agree. Like, learning about them, you should want to learn about them. Like, eyes and smile, and also intelligent are I'm a sucker for someone's eyes and their smile. Like, I hate my teeth, so like if someone said about smile, I'd be like, not me. But for me, when I look at a lad, like, I feel like, especially eyes, and sound really cringy now, I feel like eyes, like if they, I don't even know how to explain it, like someone's eyes just draw me in. If they're like glisten and they sparkle and they have that, they just like, I'm just like mesmerised by them, and I think it just makes me so attracted to them. And someone's smile at the same time, like, I think if that, I just like look at them and melt. Like, you just know that that's something that you like about them naturally. Someone you can have healthy debates with. Yeah, you're never going to get on, are you? Like, all the time. Like, you're always going to agree on things and disagree on things. So if you can have these like really interesting conversations and debates, I love that. And with a difference of opinion is good. It's also a really good way to learn about someone. Like, I've like, not even just genuinely dates, just like friends as well. Like, I've been and met people that have such an open look on life, and they have taught me so much, and that just attracts me in whatever way, a friendship way, a, you know, fancy them kind of way, like so much more. Like, I love sitting there and listening to other people and their opinions and learning things I didn't know about, and feeling like I've come away not only like knowing more about them, but sometimes more about yourself, which is a really, really good thing. We're going to talk about what puts people off. And I will admit, this is probably the longest section. There's a lot of things people hate. Someone said, just don't text me 3 times a day asking what I've eaten for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Ugh, tedious. Like, that's very specific. Like, I feel like I ask someone sometimes, like, oh, have you had your dinner? Like, but I guess, like, what have you had for breakfast, lunch and dinner is a bit sad, isn't it? People's table manners, rude. I hate that. You know, like, if you go out for dinner, I used to work in a restaurant, so people that are rude to waitress staff should honestly just be put in the bin. I hate it. Tip your waitress, tip the staff, say thank you. If something's wrong, politely call them over and just say, like, excuse me, this isn't correct. You don't need to be rude. You don't need to be a horrible person to enjoy your night. You can't be like, oh, my night's ruined. What? Because your steak's undercooked. Get a grip. Get a grip. Look, obviously, if you've had a really bad experience at somewhere, I understand a complaint, but you can complain without being rude. I agree here. Too many compliments. You can only say thanks too many times. But I think most of us girls especially will agree we don't know how to take a compliment. Like, we don't know how to take a compliment. And so, like, when someone's like, you look really pretty, your eyes are really nice, oh, I like your laugh, or you're really cute, or like, I get it and it's really sweet, but like, say it once, or just compliment, you know, like when you meet your date, oh, you look really nice, you look really handsome. I'd be like, oh, thank you, that's really nice. And then maybe if you're up for dinner and like they're laughing or they're smiling, you've got a really nice smile, but just don't do it all the time because it's gross. Talking money, it drives me crazy. In your bank account is probably as dry as your personality, mate. Mixed messages at the very beginning equals they're not actually interested. Fact. We all avoid the big red flags that we get, we avoid, and then when it ends, we break up, we go, you should have known that that was going to happen. So yeah, if you're getting mixed messages, pie them off. Pie them off before they can pie you. When they push their insecurities onto you, don't allow it. True. I hate it. Boys, you know, telling a girl how to dress, telling her she can't talk to other boys, telling her to unfollow people, or vice versa with girls, especially, you can't go out with them, you're not allowed out with your mates. I knew what you used to get up to before. Sack it off, like, no. Like, if you're too insecure to trust these people to be who they are, why are you with them? It makes no sense. Talks about their ex. So many people have said this and so many people hate it. Just don't do it. Or like, obviously, naturally, you're going to talk about your previous relationships, and if you've been in really long relationships, you're obviously going to have stories to tell where they probably were there. But on a first date, you don't need to bring it up, or you don't need to bring it up loads. Not offering to at least pay for something, even if the guy insists he'll cover the cost. This drives me crazy. The amount of people that have told me that, you know, I've got a few good lad mates, like, I'm like, oh, did she offer to pay? No. Like, rude. Just offer. Let's be honest, most, like, girls, let's be honest, most boys do say no, I'll pay. Like, but at least offer. They're not millionaires. Yeah. And you also earn your own money, so just pay for something, be grateful, show them that you appreciate, you know, that they've paid for so much, you know. And if it's vice versa, if the girl's paying for everything, boys, get your card out, get your wallet out, help pay for something. Like, it's dating is a 50-50 experience, so you should be 50-50 paying for things. If you have to do all the planning for the date, this is a funny one, I get it, because it's really annoying when, like, you have to do it all. Annoying, especially if you've been with someone for a while and you're still doing it all the time. Like, it's not just about a first date, it's about dating someone. So like, if you're in a relationship and they'd never plan something, that's really annoying. Like, just do something. It doesn't even have to be something big. Just say, oh, we're going out for dinner tonight. It's just that little bit of effort goes such a long way, and people really appreciate it. If they speak about their ex in a derogatory way, or if they speak badly about them in general, why? If you've got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. If you didn't get on with them, or you didn't like them, or it ended badly, we get it. But just say it ended badly. We don't need to know all the dirty details. Okay, this is a controversial one, and I thought I'd ask it because I just think it's a good topic. So, for instance, you've gone on this date and it's gone really well. There's obviously something there, you really get on, you don't want to leave each other, you want to spend more time with each other. So I asked, sleeping with someone on a first date, yes, no, what's your opinions? Someone said no, third date. That's like a movie thing, isn't it? Like 3 dates and then you get there. Someone put would if you're feeling it, because you can see if you still have that sexual chemistry with someone. This is such a good topic because I've had a really good conversation. And it's funny because I always thought, like, I've always been like, oh, you know, boy type of scenario, like, oh, if they just sleep with you, never speak to you again. But I had a really interesting conversation not long ago, and someone said, like, something really interesting to me, and I think there's like a video where a guy talks about it, and it's not that they, you know, again, there will be some that their aim is to only sleep with you, but having sex with someone, I think, does determine whether you like them, and it's not how good or bad it is, but sometimes it is just sexual chemistry. Like, you are, you know, you get on and you have that banter, but then once that's done, you kind of lose that, and it's not on purpose. There's a name for it and now I can't remember what it is. Post-nut clarity. I actually had to Google that. And it's not just for boys, it's for girls as well. Like, I'm sure there's girls out there that have thought a guy is really, really attractive, and they get on him and they do go there, and it's like the excitement's gone, and it's not because their intentions were to only sleep with them, but clearly in some way, shape or form, like once you have done that, the excitement has gone. And I think the realisation is you have to find a person that even once you've done it once, you do want to do it again, and you do really enjoy their time, and it wasn't just sexual attraction, it's way more. And you know, I think there's a realisation, like it was something I really learnt about, because I felt like obviously for a long time with friends telling me like, oh, you know, we've gone on all these amazing dates, blah, 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 we've had sex and he's not spoke to me again, and I'm like, what a horrible person, like he's a horrible person. But then when reality hits and you learn about these things, and I'm not saying it's for every time it's happened with people, but maybe it was just that, maybe they did really enjoy your company. But again, at the same time, we can enjoy someone's company and not want to be with them. We've all been there, we've all got on with someone, we've all dated someone for a small period of time, and then it's just fizzled out. And I guess sometimes that is the moment that the fizzle, like it's a cut-off point. It's like, okay, all that excitement, all that enjoyability has now just gone, and it's not a horrible thing, and that's not, you know, it's not nice for the other person that clearly was open and willing to, you know, go that step further, and it isn't a nice thing to happen. But I think in reality, like, not everyone that just sleeps with someone is a horrible person. It's the reality of what happens, apparently. So I felt very educated when I learnt that. Someone put, if you're both consenting adults, I don't see the problem. We've all got needs. Very true. Someone said, never again, been there too many times. I guess for some people, like, if it does happen quite a lot, it does get a bit tedious and it sucks, doesn't it? If there's a connection and you both want to and it's consented, why not? But never put pressure on it. Again, completely agree. Obviously, either party should be like, oh, like forcing it. That's not okay. But if you're both agreeing to it, like, again, I think that's where the whole, like, if you've both agreed to it, like, that's signed, sealed, delivered way of saying, like, I want to be with you. Especially after a first date, you've obviously enjoyed each other's company and there's that attraction, but it doesn't mean it's 100% serious. It just means you've enjoyed each other's time. Now, this is a statement I could not agree more with. It's just my opinion. Having sex with someone without emotional connection is pointless. I have always been a big advocate of, I do not understand, again, this is just my opinion, I do not understand one-night stands. I just don't get them. Like, it's not fun. It's not enjoyable. I'm really sorry if my parents are watching this. If they don't understand your, like, needs and what you like and what you don't like, it's just awkward. Like, I don't get how people do it. Like, you know, if you can, fair enough, this is no way in me selling, like, you're a bad person. But to me, I think if you're not with someone or you're not dating someone and enjoying their company and getting to know them, like, I just don't understand it personally. And I'm really not here to offend someone, it's just my opinion. Okay, then there was just, like, other comments. I basically told people to just let me know, like, opinions or stories or anything that they wanted to talk about dating, questions they had to ask. So we're just going to go to that now and see what other people's opinions are. So what media has ruined modern day love? Yes and no. I think, again, like I spoke about earlier, it's a great way to meet people that don't live in your village or your city or your town or whatever. It's a great way to meet people that live in a different place. But at the same time, I do think, especially social media, I think a lot of people expect, like, people's relationships are so fake on there. And I think people get themselves down about it, like, oh, you know, my relationship isn't like that. No, neither's theirs. That massive bouquet of flowers that she just posted, he did not buy her. She ordered herself, or, you know, it wasn't as big as it was, or it was a PR stunt or something. It's not all real, and I think people need to remember that. All these lavish dinners that people are going to, great, like, we all love a bloody lavish dinner, but if you can't go on that, or your perfect day is sitting in your bed and watching Netflix and ordering a pizza, good. If that's what you like to do, do it. Don't think because you're not getting dressed up every weekend and going to these really fancy meals that your love life and your relationship is any less than somebody else's, because that's not the case. the whole point of being with this person is to do what you both enjoy and being yourselves, not what social media has hyped it all up to be. How weird modern dating is compared to old-fashioned dating, and how I might go and get my dad for this. The question is, how weird modern dating is compared to old-fashioned dating. Because, like, for instance, when me and, like, Kaylee or my friends have said to you, like...
Well, you lot all...
Like, Karina, I've said,
you all
Karina's
meet,
met Rob.
yeah, just so you
Karina
all
met
meet
online.
via apps, not physically.
Not face to face.
Yeah,
You've done it sort of...
Your attraction's from a photo, isn't it?
Well, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you younger
Generation.
It's all online, where our generation was that you went out, you met somebody, you took them out, you took them to a pub.
Yeah, but they still do that, I think.
Well,
I want
no,
the initial dating bit, as in like to
yeah, but
message.
it was face to face.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
So
what I was trying to say.
there's an attraction from in the room, so you decide to do something from that or not, or then you'd message them later or reach out to them later or wait to see them again. Where I just find your generations, it's just from an image, and then that conversation builds from that. So it's a like, dislike. It's very instant without knowing the personality.
Or the person.
Yeah. And no disrespect to Lovey.
He's about to slag us off.
Yeah. A lot of pictures online are filtered. There's additions, so you never.
Well,
You're not really getting an honest some circles, an honest version of that person that you're seeing. Yeah, and I think that's the scary world of online dating.
I mean,
Mum's a strong fan of the show. Thanks.
You're welcome.
You can wave now. Say bye.
bye, see you later.
Bye.
Have you ever been catfished?
Yes.
Oh, have you got a good story for that or not?
I don't know. Like, I just, as soon as I know, I've noticed that they're like a catfish. Like when they won't send a picture, I'm just like, yeah, block.
I was saying this to a friend the other day. He was telling me that he'd been catfished. And it's like, we talk about it all the time when we watch the TV show. I don't get how people can, like, be catfished so severely. Like,
yeah, I don't get how it lasts. Like, how does it last so long?
I know, yeah.
Like, just texting. And I feel like sometimes, like, that's one of the reasons why I like texting and, like, why I like calling and, FaceTiming, because you can't trust people nowadays. So it's like, I think it's just one of those things. Plus, as well, like, with text, like, things could be, like, misunderstood.
What is your, like, perfect date? Like, if you could go on, like, one day and it would be, like, the most perfect thing, what would it be? And don't say a rave. What puts you off, though? Like, not even just, like, genuinely, like, in a relationship? Because this isn't just about going on first dates. It's about dating in general. Like, what, like, if a lad did a specific thing, what kind of things would you, like, be really put off by?
Well, one of my, like, biggest icks is anyone that, like, chews really loud or like slaps their teeth, like let her lips together.
What about personality wise?
Dry. If you're boring and dry.
Yeah, people are
that just like, it just annoys me. Like,
dating apps, do you like them or do you hate them?
I find them boring. I just use them when I'm bored, just because there's nothing else to do.
You don't use them for anything serious?
No.
You just use them for entertainment?
Yeah.
If you find my sister on a dating app, she doesn't actually like you.
Bye guys.
I think one of the things I've noticed, either from dating myself or my friends, is people aren't honest enough with their dating lives. Like, I think people just need to be a bit more straight up. Like, if you don't want a boyfriend or you don't want a girlfriend, don't waste other people's time that do. You're not looking for an actual relationship, but you're matching with people online, or you're talking to them or telling them you're going to take them on a date, but the actual intention isn't to date them or to see if you can date them. I just don't think you should do it. Like, it's such a waste of time. I've had my time wasted loads, and it sucks, and it's so annoying, and it becomes frustrating, and it also puts people off. Like, myself back up to dating to then have my time wasted, it then just knocks you down like 6 pegs all over again, and it just drives you crazy. Like, you know, I've dated people that have like got out of relationships and said that they're ready, and then they wasted 4 months of my life and then they haven't. I've dated people that have told me they're completely over their ex, and then shock and behold, they're back with their ex. I just think it's such a waste of time. Like, I think people need to learn to be like more honest with themselves before they let someone else in.
Can I make a comment
Of course you can.
about that? I said like people need to be like honest. Like, you either say it how it is,
Yeah.
or just don't say anything at all. Like, because you're clearly not ready.
Yeah.
So I think
Exactly.
yeah, I know
It's frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, that is the biggest problem. Like with this generation.
And it's always like, oh, where are all the good ones? All the good ones are hiding because all the non-ready people got to them.
Yeah.
And like, we're all just like, everyone just goes back and forth now. No one's really, I think the best way to put it is no one's really ready to date, because we all just don't want to go through any of that again.
Yeah, of course.
Which is just really crappy, really. This has been a very chatty video, and it's been really fun. I don't think I've missed anything. I could probably talk about this all day, because there's loads of different things and opinions and stories, and it's crazy. Dating in our generation is crazy. So yeah, that is pretty much all I have to say on that matter. It's honestly been so lovely, and I've had so much fun. It's been really good. And again, I would just like to say a massive thank you to anyone who sent in a message or gave their opinion on something, gave me a story to think about. It's really insightful. I think it's really good to see other people's opinions, especially people similar age to me, because sometimes I feel really alone in this matter, and I feel like, is it only me that's going through this? Is it only me that has these opinions? Or like, is it me? Like, am I the problem when it comes to dating sometimes? And it's good to know that like, it's not, you know, everyone goes through it. Thank you to my mum, dad and my sister for participating and giving their opinions, which was really helpful again, because I think again, it's so, we've all been there. Everyone's got a bad dating story or a good one or an opinion to share on this, and I do think we don't talk about it enough. I think we all just kind of sit back, moan about it, and then just get on with it. So I think it's been really insightful, and I hope this video has been super insightful for you all as well. I'm not going to sit here and promise you that the next video will be in 2 weeks, but I promise to try and keep it up. My 2022 goal is to post a video once a month, so I am going to try. So if you have any video ideas that you want, if anyone wants to join in on my next video, just drop a message below, and I would actually love anyone that wants to be involved, because I just think having chatty videos with you all is so much fun, and we will think of something fun to do together. So again, I'll tag my socials below. Please give them all a follow. Please like and subscribe this video. And I hope you all have a lovely rest of the week, and I will see you again soon. Happy Christmas and a merry...
It's a nice seat.
It's a nice seat. Oh my God.
I'm looking quite good enough.